Hello everyone and welcome back to Renowned Explorers International Society, the Emperor's Challenge. Let's go again, shall we? So, last time I took a second to look over the treasure tracker. Actually, if you weren't here for that, let's do it just briefly, very, very quickly, I promise. Again, and one of the things I noticed, even I am missing about one treasure from each area. There's this area finished, but there's about one treasure from each area that I have missed. Yeah, on average. But in these last two areas here, which is the Anagargic Archipelago and Shangri-La, I am missing many. But one of the things I'm missing in Shangri-La, besides what I believe are the Yeti rewards right here, which I have never managed to do, are the end treasures, which change depending on what your particular crew composition is, based on both their attitudes and based on what kind of tokens they have focused on collecting throughout the expeditions. I have successfully won on friendly in two different ways, and I've successfully won on aggressive in two different ways, but I have never apparently won Shangri-La on devious, which surprised me. I didn't realize that. So I am tempted to do a devious run. Yeah, too friendly and too aggressive. I don't actually know what that is. Huh. I have no idea how I got that. Oh well. But yeah. Yeah. So, maybe we can try to do a devious run. And it looks like we have a couple options here. Secret Spotter and Research Collector is interesting. That's not what I would think of when I would think of two challenges that go together. Secrets are very, very hard to get, and research doesn't really seem to go with them very well, does it? You know, alternatively, we could do an aggressive run, because I have gotten the aggressive trophy for campaign, and I've gotten the aggressive trophy for gold, but I have never gotten it for science. That is also an option. I wonder if that would be worth doing. So my thoughts here are either do an aggressive run going for science or a devious run going for science, and I haven't really decided which one I want to do yet. I'm sort of thinking about it on the fly. Yeah. Now, if we did an aggressive run, I would want to go back to the Anagargic Archipelago because we were missing several treasures from there. And the Anagargic Archipelago really requires a tactician, an archaeologist, a survivalist, and a rogue. However, I did manage to find out that you can get by with a very, very high-level survivalist. But I missed having the tactician. That was the thing that I really, really wish I had had. So if we were going to do an aggressive scientist run, I would want a survivalist anyway, because survivalists are very good at nature challenges. But I would also want to consider taking a tactician. Let's take a look real quick at what kind of aggressive team we can put together that would focus on science. We could take Anna, of course. She is a naturalist, which is one of the three that's very good for nature challenges. It's naturalist, athlete, and survivalist. So Anna might be a good choice, and of course, she has her awesome captain perk. Completing a research paper will give your study token a random improvement, which is just incredible. Now, Anna is, in my opinion, in my experience, a little bit weak in combat. She excels at challenges, she excels at getting research tokens, but her combat abilities are very, very poor. For one thing, her AoE experimentation is only 40% of her normal attack, which means that if you want to use it, you need to wait for 3 turns for it to gain that maximum of plus 75% power. And typically, by that point, a combat is relatively decided. So if I was going to take Anna, I would need to take some people who can compensate for her weakness in combat. And the obvious choice for me is either Hattis or Harry. They are both excellent characters in combat, tend to be a little bit weaker outside of combat. But Harry, especially with his piercing shot that can then become a cone, is insane. Being able to, at level 3, have a cone skill shot, or a cone AoE, not a skill shot, a cone AoE that does 100% of your attack power or very close to it is, well, pretty insane. Let's just put it that way. It is pretty insane. And if you can pair him or Hatties, either way, with a character that has a confident, friendly ability to up that by another 25% right off the bat in a combat, that is very, very strong. Very strong. Yes, indeed. And Anna does not have a confident attack, unfortunately. She has a excited attack. So our third crew member, theoretically, ideally, we would want to pick up someone who has a confident attack. But if we take Harry or Hatties, the main problem I'm going to have with them is that neither one of them can become either a survivalist or an athlete naturally. Now, Hatties can become an engineer, which definitely could come in handy. And there is definitely some logic for bringing her over Harry because of that. Harry can become a beguiler, which is not real helpful for most of the areas we're going to go to, but having a speaker, or a speaker facsimile in the case of Harry, who's actually a scout, could be useful. Could be useful. I do like rogues. Rogues are a lot of fun. And you know, Rogue is one of the classes that is good for the Anagogic Archipelago. It's not one of the top choices, but it is good. So theoretically, I would like, and this is reaching for the stars here, very unlikely, but theoretically, my last character should be a athlete and a survivalist with a confident, friendly attack, who's good at aggressive. That's not going to happen. I don't think there are any characters who are both an athlete and a survivalist, and that's going to make that hard. So, and I also mentioned, of course, that I would like to have a tactician. So we're already looking at where we're going to cut corners because we can't fill all these in. Unless I replaced Harry. I could replace Harry with someone else. I could take, let's see. I could take Molly, who it can become an athlete. She's not great in aggressive. She's decent in aggressive, not bad. But not amazing either. Let's take a look at. Now there's Hojo. He can be an athlete, but you know, his aggressive tendencies to me are a little weak. He's very good and friendly, and I like taking him there. Let's see here. Victor, of course, starts as a tactician, which is very nice. He is fairly good in aggressive crews, and he can also be a diplomat, which I did mention wanting. I can't remember why now. Oh no, that's for something else. Okay, never mind. I don't care about diplomat in this particular run. But he is good in aggressive crews. And he does have a confident, friendly attack. But he cannot learn to be an athlete, which is unfortunate. I would have to give him all his athlete perks, which would be fine, I guess. I suppose that's one way to look at it. You're only going to really focus on making each member one thing naturally. Any other thing that you give them, you have to teach them with items or with entourages or stuff like that. So there's no real reason we have to have someone who starts as an athlete or a survivalist. We just have to make one. Maybe I'm limiting myself a little bit much by making the assumption that I have to start with someone having those skills. It's also Bia. Bia is really good in an aggressive crew. She especially goes with Anna really well because Anna can take Terrifying Presence, which means that Anna's enemies take +1 terrified each turn, and Bia gets stronger if her opponents are terrified. Her triple slash here attacks 3 times instead of twice if the target is terrified, and later can be upgraded to attack 4 times. Which is interesting. I've never paired those two. I've known that existed, but I've never actually went out of my way to try to make it work. Now there's an interesting thing here in that Bia's Spy Circle allows her to get secrets for collect, which would be good for this one, Secret Spot and Research Collector, but I think we're gonna do this. She also gets fighter training, which allows us to teach a free athlete or tactician skill at some point, which would be nice because we do want both an athlete and a tactician. So yeah, we could do Anna as a naturalist and engineer. We could do Bia as a tactician athlete. And we could run our third person as a survivalist, and then whatever else. Maybe a rogue. So yeah, maybe Harry would be an excellent choice there. Oops, not there. There. So maybe Harry would be a good choice. He starts as a rogue. He's very, very strong in combat, and we could just give him survivalist skills. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm happy with this. I'm pretty satisfied with this crew. The only question is whether I'd rather have Bia or Victor. Victor has a heal, which is kind of nice. Victor and all allies are random game +1 confident each turn. That's also nice. And Victor does have that confident attack, the confident friendly attack to buff up Harry that I was talking about. Does Bia have a confident friendly attack? No. Okay, so Victor is a better choice. Is anyone else an even better choice? No. No. How about Wang? Well, Wang would be okay. He has a confident attack. He does start with a tactician level. And he has some fairly decent aggressive attacks. Now, I've never taken Wang. I've only taken Wang once, and so I'm not real familiar with him or how good he really is. Huh. But I think I'd rather start with someone who is just going to be a very, very strong combatant. And maybe Victor is the way to go. All right, you know what? Let's try it. Let's go. Let's run with this crew. Yeah, let's run with this crew. It's very interesting because I'm noticing that they actually indicate that Hattis is a better aggressive member than Harry. I have definitely found that to not be true. These two are very evenly matched, and Harry might even outrank Hattis slightly because of his cone upgrade to his line AOE here, piercing shot. All right, let's go with this. Not a random starter. We're going to take the Celtic code. We're going to do classic like always, and let's see how it goes. Again, these party composition picks are taking longer and longer, and I think that's actually a good thing. It means that there's so much to think about, so much strategy involved that I can't make a snap decision and be happy with it. I really like the fact that I have to plan for 10 or 15 minutes beforehand to get a crew that I'm happy with, and even then, I'm in many cases I'm later finding out, oh wait, this doesn't work together very well, or something else would work better, or I'm really missing this particular class of perks that I would like to have next time. And there's a lot of strategy to it. I have sticky notes covering my desk, covered with notes about renowned explorers, about what characters I want for particular expeditions, and which characters have worked well together, which ones haven't, and some of those notes have served me well, and some of them, well, not so much. But let's move along, shall we? Anna is ready for the challenge, and we are not going to do the tutorial, surprisingly. All right, let's see here. Okay, research collector, discovery spotter, and collector of study already, which is a pretty good start for us. Let's see if we can get some study. Well, here we go. Nature here has remained untouched for ages, and the forest cliffs hold some valuable ore. Do we want to get research, valuables, or spend some extra supplies to get both? Now, if we had a survivalist right off the bat, you could do both these things without spending the extra supplies. We don't. So we're just going to take the research. That's the most important thing for us right now, and I really don't want to give up more supplies than I have to. Okay, Victor finds a weird, colorful stone that looks valuable. Sadly, the stone doesn't look so fancy up closer, and however thinks there's more to it, and jots down some observations before leaving. Now, one of the things we are going to suffer with a little bit here is because we started with the Celtic Code, we do have a lot of nature challenges. And we do not have a lot of the characters that nature challenges are good with, athlete and survivalist, mostly. This might be our hidden horde, so I'm reluctant to leave it behind. It is not. Okay, maybe I should have left it behind. That's too bad. That's going to cost us 2 supplies that we probably could have used to put to better use elsewhere. Let's take a look at our campfire stories. Well, there's an early Professor Proskirkova, which is never a bad thing to grab very, very fast. We cannot play Master Thief yet because it requires a level 3 rogue, which we do not have, so we will hold on to that. I don't need the counter or the collect, so Professor Proskirkova is the obvious choice. I'm trying to think which of these characters will react in certain ways. Harry is kind of a, comes across as kind of a happy-go-lucky character, but he had a very rough childhood. He might not react well to Anna's tasing. Victor, on the other hand, is a military specialist, a military captain. He might take very well to Anna being very stern, because that's what he would be used to in the military, I would assume. Maybe we'll try that. Anna thinks it is important for the crew to learn about the natural sciences and engineering. After all, science is mankind's most important pursuit. How do we want to react to Victor? I think we're going to be stern. I think as a military veteran, he will appreciate that. Oh geez, okay, I'm on it. I don't know if that's good or bad, but we'll go with it. Victor does grow a bit scared of Anna. Okay, well maybe that wasn't the best way. But we will try to motivate him to do a grand discovery. Together, Anna and Victor managed to expand on an existing theory. It was a good day for science, and Anna will try to accomplish even more with Victor in the future. Alright. Unfortunately, we scared Victor a little bit, which is not great. We did get our discovery token for our first couple points there. 10% speech power, not what I would have liked. That's unfortunate. Would have preferred attack, obviously, but that's the way it goes. Another weird, colorful stone. It looks as worthless as the other one, but the crew is starting to think there's something up with this. Anna is a naturalist and can investigate it. Anna figures out that this stone might have properties that will aid in wave research. Okay, we'll take it back for the lab. Let's continue moving around. Suddenly you hear the sound of multiple feet rushing towards you, and it's a man followed by wolves charging at us aggressively. We will respond just as aggressively. Alright, turns out we don't want to solve this aggressively. But you know what, that's fine. We don't have a particular challenge to solve things aggressively, and we do have Mr. and Mrs. Friendly. If we could solve it that way, I would not mind. It's going to be a tad difficult for our crew to solve it that way, mind you. Actually, you know what? It's really not. Harry and Victor are both decent at friendly. So maybe this won't be that hard. And Anna has an excited friendly move, so we'll buff up Victor with that. And yeah, that'll let him take out one of these wolves with one shot. Not bad. And we'll bring Harry back here and try to do the exact same thing. Now, it does mean we're taking this debuff, this minus 20 armor debuff, which is unfortunate. Maybe we'll switch that. Let's switch to an aggressive stance. I really don't want to take that debuff right here at the beginning. That could be rough for Anna since she's in front. Our chances of getting emotion spread are very low just because we only have one character who has an impressed friendly attack. So I'm kind of going to leave that by the wayside and just go for the Mr. and Mrs. Friendly. We'll see if we can get at least that. May not be able to, though. Yeah, may not be able to. We will see. Huh. Wolves have decent speech defense, actually. The man does not, but the wolves do, which is interesting to me. Alright, yeah, Harry cannot quite take out a wolf, but if we buff him up with Anna... There we go, that should do it. Unfortunately, even if we take out both wolves this turn, that is not going to be enough to Oh, you know what? We can't take out both wolves because we can't get to the second wolf, so never mind. Same thing applies. We will not get to a friendly mood this turn. Even if we'd taken out both wolves, we wouldn't have. That would have only been 4 pips on the 5 pip bar to get back to friendly. But that's okay. We will try to get into it next turn, obviously, and hope that is enough to end the combat in friendly. Here we go. That should be a good start. That'll switch us over to a friendly mood, and then we will finish off this druid here with one more friendly attack. We were actually close on emotions better. Only needed one more with Harry. We probably could have waited a turn and done that. But that's alright. The druid helps us find a treasure. The druid apologizes. I thought you were going to steal everything I have, but it turns out you're pretty nice. You can have this treasure I was guarding. The Celtic Cross. 1 discovery, 3 to 5 research from discovery, or 1 research from campaign. I think I'll take the discovery, work on our discovery spotter a little bit more. The crew leaves the druid and his forest behind. If one of the druids is here, the druidic circle must be nearby. And Anna has leveled up. And we're just going to keep her on the naturalist path. We'll give her some engineering traits eventually, but for now, make her a good naturalist. Anna recognized useful minerals in this rock and is curious what more is in there, and she is obsessively curious, and so we don't have a choice. She needs to know. Almost nothing. I've never really had this work out for me. I've occasionally gotten like 1 collect or 1 study from it, but I've never had this be a really, really good choice mining the habitat. There's the 1 collect, yeah. Alright, go down here. Out of supplies already, but it's the first expedition, so we'll figure it out. Some wolves being territorial. Let's see if we can deal with that. Painbringer. 35 damage from a single attack. That shouldn't be a problem, I would think. Well, it is relatively early in the game, so we'll see. 27, yeah. Maybe if we buff Harry to be confident, that might work. How is Victor's attack? 29, alright. So yeah, we're probably going to have to buff up Harry here. And we'll see if he can do that 35 damage with a little help. Okay. Here we go. This is our best shot at it. 31. Nope. Not gonna happen. Oh well. Too early in the game for us to be doing that much damage, I guess. Alright, very nice. There's all the wolves down. Man prevails over nature once again. Once the battle is over, you find some crying pups. You figure out you've just beaten up Mommy. They'll recover soon enough. I mean, we did shoot them and stab them, but yeah, sure, they'll recover. No big deal. Victor has leveled up, and I'm going to keep him on the tactician train. Yep, definitely going to keep him on the tactician train, and we'll try to give him some athlete levels as well. And Harry, we are going to keep on the rogue train. I would be tempted to give him some beguiler, but you know, rogue does increase your attack, which is nice, as opposed to beguiler, which increases your speech. And rogue might come in handy if we get to the Anagar archipelago. So yeah, I think I will keep with that. All right, all our crew members have leveled up already. Nice. Another person in the woods. Who is it? A university member. She's startled by your sudden appearance, but impressed by your membership to Renowned Explorers. Yeah. Anna starts firing questions at her. She passes the test, and Anna says she can come with us. I always wanted to help the Renowned Explorers. I won't let you down. You'll make amazing discoveries. I just know it. She adds her papers to your research. And we do take our first debuff here, and Harry loses a little bit of grit. Alright, let's go grab some supplies and stop that. Alright, 3 supplies. Something odd here. Let's see what it is. Walking in such a pristine landscape is bound to inspire someone with a passion for biology. Anna does not have biology yet. There we go. Very nice. Anna is finally grasping the beauty of all of this and gains the Naturalist Biology perk. Anna loves the living things on the planet. She just wants to tase them. You know, that's sort of like love. So, 4 levels of Naturalist now already on Anna. That's pretty nice. Here should be our hidden hoard. Yep. And we will take our discovery. There's our second level of Discovery Spotter already. Not bad. Yeah, we can afford to take these last 2 nodes and then end. That means we'll have explored the entire island, which is nice. Just your luck. A pack of hungry wolves is following you. Only one way to get out of this. But we do have a tactician, so we are prepared. Having a tactician is very nice, just because you do get that bonus on pretty much every combat you encounter. It's not everyone, but it's a lot of them. Let's see, that bonus right now is 15% attack power and 50% speech power, which is pretty good. Now we do have Mindbender, 35 speech damage to a single target. And Harry actually has 36 speech power right now. You know what? Let's give it a shot. Let's see if he can get that 35. No. Even then, it's only 28. Alright, that's unfortunate. Oh well. We'll just finish these guys off then. Yeah, Anna's pretty weak compared to everyone else. That's too bad. Poor Anna. I guess it doesn't matter if I end this devious, does it? At this point. Didn't finish him off anyway. Once again, I could buff Harry up with an excited attack if I wanted to. I could try for that speech power, but I don't think I'm going to get it anyway. He was only doing 28, and the extra 25% is not going to be enough. So. Alright, there we go. Got our extra encounter token, and the wolves are gone. Out of supplies again, and Anna loses some speech defense. That's not too bad. One of these rainy days, you see a feather lying beneath a small tree. The feather is somehow both magnificent and valuable. Maybe it's like a peacock feather or something? I did like those growing up. There was a zoo in Cape May that had, the Cape May Zoo, that had peacocks that just ran around the grounds. And that's not atypical, but in this particular zoo, they would often leave the peacock feathers that had been dropped on the ground. Now, there were signs that if you found a peacock feather, it belonged to the zoo, and to please return it because they used them to make like pens and stuff like that to sell in the gift shop. But I do know at least a couple people who managed to walk out with one. And as a kid, that was exciting. That was very exciting. The Druidic Circle must be somewhere around. Once you get there, this expedition will come to an end. You can come back to this place when you wish to continue later. Yes, we're ready. Onwards. There's the Stone Circle, but here also is Rivalo, of course. And who is he going to send after us? Amir. Alright, so Amir is a devious attacker, which means he's actually good against us. This is an unfortunate matchup for us. But we have all our AoEs now. We have a decent amount of damage, and they are lined up very, very nicely for a piercing shot. So I think we're just going to do that right off the bat. 3 minions down without much of a problem. Now, Anna could come over here and try to use her AoE, but her AoE is not nearly as good as Harry's. Yeah, see? She needs to wait several turns for it to get even close in power to what Harry's can do, which is unfortunate. Minus 62 speech defense. Wow. Yeah, that's not a... Wow, actually, everyone has really low speech defense. Combination of this debuff and taking some debuffs on the way as well. We'll put Victor in here. He has the best speech defense of any of us at the moment, and we'll let him try to defend us. Alright, Victor, you're holding the line. Okay, not too bad. I mean, it's not great, but... Alright, Victor has held the line. Excellent. I would really like to finish off this combat this turn. I don't know if we can or not, but... I'd like to try, because I'm not convinced we can hold out for very long. Nice hit there. Bring Harry up. Harry can almost take out Amir by himself with an impressed attack. So you know what? I'm gonna take the chance. And a miss. That's really unfortunate. Okay. Well, that almost certainly means we're gonna have another turn here. Yes, it does. And Anna can take out this Mook on her own, so let's do that. That way, at least we only take one attack next turn. Now, unfortunately, Amir is almost certainly going to attack Victor because Victor's the only one who hit him. Yep. And that is going to go poorly for us. So there's our first resolve down. Now, we'll almost certainly finish the encounter this turn, but I was hoping to get out of here without losing a resolve. Unfortunate. Oh, we did get Mind Better there. Nice. Amir is mildly impressed. Okay. Amir stops and stares at you. You're strong. Mildly impressive, my friend. He drops some research notes for you in a form of acknowledgement and leaves to follow Rivalo. Suddenly, a hooded figure appears on the scene. A druid pops out of the forest. Amazing. I saw how you handled that encounter just now. Your strength showed in that fierce battle. What is the dream you chase? We don't have an option because Anna is obsessively curious and she thirsts for knowledge. That's fine. We want the Sea Sapphire anyway if we can get it. 75% chance at it. Yep, there we go. Sea Sapphire. +1 study at the end of each expedition. For each level of engineer, each level of naturalist, or +1 to 3 gold from collect. And we'll take +1 study for each level of naturalist. Even right now, that's 4 study. So it'll be at least 4 for every expedition from now on. So that buff by itself is worth like 20 study. Not bad. I mean, think about it this way. If you found a treasure whose perk was get 20 study, that would be insane. Like, that's way more powerful than most treasures in this game. There are a couple that I would wager are more powerful than that. There's one in the Hungarian area, the Hungarian Mix, I believe it's called, that gives +10 attack or +10 speech to your entire crew. That thing is amazing. That's almost worth going to Hungary for, just for that item if you can find it. All right, we're going to decline the Emperor's meeting. We know what's going on here, and take our Renowned Explorer membership for 2 supplies. All right, pretty good start. We'll see how this continues next time. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode as we collect our Research Collector points. And please put a like on the episode if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel. It really helps out if you want to see more in the future. And check out my Twitter if you want to see updates and any news on the channel as that happens. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.